What up, Film Celebration Nation? It's your boy Ed Guevara. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. You guys, I had kind of a weird day today because I got called by one of my supervisors asking me to work the night shift, and so now I'm going to be going in at 2:30 p.m. and getting out at like I think 11:30 p.m., which is fine. But what that does is that flips my day over. So I had to get productive with regards to doing audio and color for scenes on the front end of today, and I actually was able to get two done. And then I also wanted to put out this video. But the thing is that I really just wanted to speak to basically being a disciplined and well-oiled machine within yourself. Now, on the onset, I know that that sounds cold, but the thing is, what that means is basically even when you don't feel like it, even when you may not be up to it, even when you might not, be in the mood, you're able to shake that off, which does take practice, but you're able to shake that off and just do the thing you need to do. If it's write that script, if it's edit that scene, if, in my case, if it's do the audio and the color grading for scenes, and then bringing them from their respective projects into the master timeline. But the thing is that there's such a feeling of accomplishment when you get stuff done. And so, if it's anything from, making sure that the scenes for my upcoming feature, All We Have, get done, or if it's for film inspiration, just getting a video out like this, which by the way, I want to get out so bad that I'm probably not even going to do the proper, SEO and the tags and everything, or hell, for that matter, even a thumbnail. But I just want to get the film out there before I go off to work today, because there comes a feeling of satisfaction when you do get off your butt. When you turn off the TV and when you're not on your phone, basically scrolling through your feeds, there is a feeling of accomplishment that nothing else in the world can bring you. And when you do that on a daily basis, and then you look back on the week, and then you look back on the month, and you can honestly and wholeheartedly say, like, you know what, I did the best that I can every single day. There really isn't anything like that. Now, given that does take practice, that does take discipline to be able to put all other distractions aside. Like watching movies, I try to balance that out with watching movies, because even when I'm watching a movie, I'm still learning. I'm still doing filmmaking. I'm just learning what went right in a good movie or what went wrong in a movie that I thought maybe sucked or could improve. And so I'm still learning there, but the thing is that you have to balance these things out. And but I obviously go heavier on the content creation versus the content consumption, because I've got too much stuff to do that I have to keep up. I really do hope that you guys in your own journeys and in your own paths find a way to find that rhythm in your weekly schedule, in your monthly schedule. I personally just take it week by week. But find that rhythm to where you're pretty unstoppable in your rhythm and in your getting things done. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sacrifices if you really want to get anything done, to be very honest with you, because watching Netflix is not gonna get your short film made. Watching Netflix, or the seasons of something that you like, investing your time and where you put your time in is so important, because when you're sitting there to playing maybe too many video games or watching maybe too many films, and you're dedicating too much of an amount of time to it, that's time and energy, especially the energy part. I want to talk about that in just a moment, but that's time and energy that could be going toward your dream. Now, what kind of gets to me is when I get kudos, and I appreciate the kudos. I appreciate when people say, "Wow, Edgar, like that's so cool how you've been making films for so long, and you've got this the playlist on my YouTube channel of short and feature films." It's long running. It's about 18 years old, and 18 years worth of body of work. For the most part, it's there. There's like one or two that are not there, but the thing is that that only happens over time, over the small everyday choices that eventually end up being the large big choices. And then eventually, in this case, like I was telling you, all of a sudden 18 years go by and I'm still doing it. And you know I'm able to have done that because there's the work aspect that I understand. Like, yes, there's a creative aspect of, feeling inspired, and, maybe you don't have an idea, or maybe, but even if you don't have an idea, or if you don't feel inspired, if you have the discipline to sit down and still bang something out, or still dedicate time to, getting the ideas that you've been kicking around in your head out onto the screen, for example, then because you force yourself to sit down, and yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes it is that. Sometimes it is a forcing of oneself to sit down. And but because you force yourself to sit down, maybe an idea comes to you. And maybe it's an idea that would not have come to you if you had not forced yourself to sit down and just try to accomplish something in your writing, or maybe in your editing that day. And so there is a very mechanical aspect of the topic of discipline that sounds really rough, and it sounds really, it sounds almost like, like boot camp in the army. It sounds very just robotic and cold in that sense, but that's actually a good thing, because your body's just your body. But when you train your mind to be resilient, when you train your mind to be strong enough to, um, to look at the temptation of Netflix and say, okay, no, we're going to turn that TV off. We need to go write that script, or we need to go finish editing that scene, or we need to do pre-production, or I need to upload that video. That's that's a talent, but you have to get to a point of being able to, harness that talent at will. And so, like any muscle, like, like all the guys and gals that go to the gym, like any muscle, it has to be developed, and it takes time. It takes time to get to that point of having that muscle of discipline, of sheer will, to be able to control your mind, and not give in to all the temptations out there, like, spending time again, watching too many videos on YouTube, watching too many, movies on Netflix, or you're glued to a series on Netflix. Find within yourself the rhythm that kind of does it for you. Let me give you an example. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. First off, Monday through Friday, and even sometimes Saturdays, and although I didn't shouldn't do it on Sundays, because Sundays is, I try to keep that strictly for as family days. But Mondays, Wednesdays, Monday through Friday, and then also many times, sometimes Saturdays, I shoot to edit and tend to my feature film in the mornings. And so I've not been super successful at getting up at 4 a.m. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6, hell, sometimes it's 7. But for the most part, I aim for about 4 a.m. to edit till about, I don't know, 8:30 a.m. And then I have to get ready to go to work. Then of course I work. Thankfully, I have employment to sustain myself and bring in my part of the bills. And then afterwards at night, we have this magical thing called YouTube, and it's an opportunity that anybody has to create your own platform, talk about whatever you're passionate, film and grassroots filmmaking, and other grassroots filmmakers in my case. And I develop that at night, with doing the interviews for Filmspiration, usually on Saturday mornings. But that's my rhythm, you guys. Mondays, edit in the morning from 4, 5 a.m. till about 8 a.m., go to work. At nighttime, come home, have some dinner, and then it's Filmspiration at night. And honestly, if you really, really clock the hours, I'm working from about 4 a.m. till about 11 p.m. I try to cut it off at 10 p.m. to go to bed. Um, so that's Monday, that's Wednesday, and that's Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, just to kind of space it out and give myself some breathing room. I'm still editing in the mornings. I'm still going to work, but then in the evening, that's the only thing that changes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm actually hitting the treadmill and just maybe trying to spend just just some time, with my wife, with the dogs, just trying to have a human life within the week, which are Tuesdays and Thursdays, especially the treadmill. You guys, if you have an exercise routine or whatever, do that, because you got to keep your mind and your body moving, to sweat out those toxins. Just keep your body moving. So that's what I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I just explained to you Monday through Friday. Saturdays, I'm not going to be going so heavy on the interviews anymore on Saturday mornings anymore for Filmspiration, although I greatly appreciate everyone who's been on Filmspiration all this time, past and present episodes. I appreciate everyone from the bottom of my heart. But Saturday mornings, I was doing the Filmspiration episodes, and then after that, maybe putting out an episode, and then after that, maybe editing a scene. Not maybe, throwing in a scene there to edit. but only after the interviews, because when other people are involved, you have other people waiting on you, then you you want to handle them first, and then afterwards you get to the scenes and edit afterwards, like probably by noon, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays. And then probably by 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock on Saturdays, then I'm going outside to pick up all the dog poop. Um, because, and it kind of works to my advantage because in Arizona here, it gets really hot during the day. So that by that time, I'm going out to pick up the dog poop at 2, 3, or 4 in the afternoon. It's a little cooler, especially on the back side of the house. So, and then Saturday night is just human time with my little family. And Sunday is definitely family time, although I've broken that rule tons of times. But that's my flow, that's my rhythm, and I hope that you guys, that's what I mean. I hope you guys can find your flow and your rhythm of what works for you. There's not one thing. I mean, you can listen to all the self-help gurus and all of the self-help videos, and there's a ton of great information out there. Um, but what I did was I listened to all the information and then I just thought, okay, well, I'm going to take a little from here, a little from here, and ultimately it just ended up being what works for me. And so that's how I came to refine and refine and refine my process, my schedule, my workflow, just refining and refining and refining. And it just means you're getting better and better and better because you're finding better and better and better ways to do what you do in your very unique life situation, especially with regards to your work-life balance situation. So find your rhythm, and find your rhythm to have the mechanical discipline to always jump in there, always jump in strong and tough. And I I wonder if when I see some of my favorite filmmakers and I think they're so deep into into their work that they come off as kind of like nerdy, right? So then, and they might come off as kind of like weak or a little bit more fragile or nerdy or more intellectual in character, right? But I get to thinking to myself, there has to be a component of discipline, a component of running that marathon that they can speak to also. It's just, has anybody, I would love to ask them about that on Filmspiration. So the question is, has anybody ever asked them about that aspect? About, however deep you are as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a director, as an actor, an actress, whatever, um, talk to me about the discipline to be mechanical in that sense, to the discipline to sit down and do the thing day in and day out, day in and day out, whether or not people are seeing the work or whether or not people are seeing the fruits of their labor. Um, it is a component that is very much a part of my life, and I hope that it is a very much a part of your life. But I can't develop it for you in your life. You have to figure out what rhythm and flow works for you, what that looks like in your life, and you have to do it. I can only give you my 2 cents and my, pump you up with my rah, 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 but you have to do it. You have to figure out what works for you and implement it. And if you want to get results, if you want to get things done, you got to see the work through. I mean, it really just comes down to that. And if you're not putting in the work, good luck. Those of you who are putting in the work, kudos to you and congratulations to you, because um, it does take discipline to be able to do that. Anyway, everyone, I love you. I will talk to you guys later. I've got to run and get ready for work. Yeah, run out there, do your thing, tell your stories. Don't ask for anyone's blessing or anyone's permission unless it's your higher power. If you want to do that, everyone, once again, please jump aboard with a subscription and also hit that little bell. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. I'm going to have some videos coming up of some more interviews, and then of course some more of me editing if you're into that, you masochistic editing junkies, for those of you who are. And we'll see what else I'm able to whip up for Filmspiration. I love you guys. Keep on doing your thing, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.